All right, howdy ho. I'm Macklen Mayse, and this is a mini class for strength of the hips. We're going to go into the hip abductors, your glute medius, and some glute maximus, your big honkers in the back. And yeah, here we go. Get yourself a resistance band, a looped band, and place it around your ankles, your ankles, please. And you'll also need today one yoga block, and you'll need something a little heavy. So I've got a kettlebell here. Whoop. Or you could use, a bag of books or a pet that is compliant. Place the therapy ball, place the resistance band, please, around the ankles, and lift all of your toes up towards the ceiling. See if you can spread all your toes out. Good, and then keep them spread out as you place them down onto the floor. The wider your foot can be through your toes especially, the more control, the more access you'll have to the stuff up here, and controlling that through balance, etc. So you're going to start to just shift a little bit of your weight into the left foot and then the right foot. Seeing if you can keep those toes wide. The thing with the toes is, like, you can think about a tripod. You know how a tripod needs to have a wide base, but then usually has a narrow top where the camera is. You want a wide base so that there can be a lot of stability. Same with the toes. You want those puppies wide as can be. Maybe one day we'll do a toe class. All right, you're gonna lean into your left foot, left hip, and see if you can lift your right foot off the floor to take a step out wider to the right. Toes wide, lean into your left, excuse me. Oh, this is your right foot. And see if you can lift that left foot off. Good, and then just take a step from side to side, but it's a pretty conscious step so that you can start to sense, maybe some feelings along the outer thigh, outer knee. If this is too much with the band, you can always do it without the band. Or you can do it with a lighter band. I've got my light band on, and wow, that is still encouraging because I still have some feels with even just a light band. Okay, you're going to step a little bit to the side and to the other side. You can step in and step out. Keep some resistance in the band throughout the entire movement to just maximize the time that we have here. You could place your hands on your hips, maybe bend the knees a little bit. You might feel it in your quads. Good. And now you're going to step a little bit forward with your right foot. And then step a little back. Good, step a little forward and step back. One more, right foot forward, right foot back. Cool, plant down right foot. Step left foot forward, left foot back. Forward and back. One more. Do-wee. Okay, plant that foot down. You can bring your feet in towards each other. Take the band off. Woo! You could use a little hand on each of those hips, greater trochanters, top of your leg bone, plunks right into the hip socket. All right, next up, curtsey squats. Grab for your block. This is one of my favorites because it gets into many different positions of the hip. You don't have to stand on the block for this one, okay? It's just there for a little extra oomph. If your foot is really long and it doesn't fit on the block, then put two blocks next to each other so that you have more of a foot pedestal. All right, let's start with left foot on the block or the floor. Again, spread those toes wide on that left foot and then plant those toes down. Lift the right foot off the floor. I'm going to recommend, I hope you can see me up here, I'm going to recommend that you hold on to something like a wall or a stable chair or a couch right in front of you for some extra stability, because this really isn't about balance. We're really focusing instead on strength of this hip. Okay, so have something where your hands can be supported and you've got that left foot on a stable flat surface. Right foot is off the floor. You're going to step that right foot back just to tap the toes down. So think about this left hip really reaching far behind you, and you're getting a hip crease on that front left hip. Okay, so that left booty is really reaching back behind, and that right toe is just tapping down. So most of your body weight, you should feel it here in this left leg, left hip. Stand upright, bring that right foot forward. Good, try it again. Tap the right toes back as you guide the right hip way back behind you to that wall behind. Stand up and go back. Finding that hip crease on the left hip. Your knee can bend as you lower down to tap the toe. And then your left knee will straighten as you come up to stand. Now to make this a little bit more challenging into different parts of the tissue of that left hip, when you tap the right toe back, see if you can tap it back into the left. So now we're getting some adduction. The hips, the legs come towards touching one another. And come up. Let's do that 4 times. Tap the right toe back into the left. Cool, this left hip is also getting a little bit of external rotation for some more stuff, some more tissue stuff, muscle stuff. Great, come upright. Switch legs. If you need to shake it out in between, shake it out in between. Cool, plant that right foot down. Lift all your toes up. Spread them, and then plant them. Hand support. Good, tap the left toes back, just a touch. Good, then come upright. And back. This block on the floor that I'm standing on just gives me a little bit of height so that I can tap back further and sink my hips down a bit further. Again, the block is not necessary. Keep on with your toe taps, thinking about that right butt cheek, aiming for the wall or the tree behind you. Who knows where you're practicing now? Maybe you've got a big ol' ocean behind your right butt cheek. All right, let's do that curtsey. Can you sweep the left leg back and to the right as you bend your knee and sit that hip back? Straighten legs, stand up. Sweep left leg back and to the right. Hip goes back. Find that hip crease in the front inner right hip. And keep going. Hands supported. It's great to separate balance from strength, so that's why we're using hand support here. Yes, you can probably do both, but here we're just going to focus on strength of the hip. Can you do 2 more? 0 to 2 more. Great. Upright you come. Step off, feet to the floor. Hands to the abdomen, find your breath. Notice the contact between the feet and the floor. Any kind of texture there. Good, flutter open the eyes if they're closed. Grab your heavy object. We're gonna finish up with a few goblet squats. Grab your heavy object into your hands, bring it up to your chest. Good, feet a little bit wider than the hips. You can turn the toes out a touch. See what that feels like. Good, then we've been focusing on the outer hip today, so you're gonna focus on widening the knees As your hips go down, torso stays lifted, meaning your chest, think about your chest lifting up. And we're focusing on back glutes and side glutes. So you can think about the back of your booty reaching to that wall or ocean behind you. Good. And you hold the heavy object close to the chest. You could do an inhale as you go down, exhale up, or you could do opposite. Play around with breath. Let's go 5 more. And 5, and 4, nice and slow, seeing how low you can go. Gotta hold my kettlebell kind of funny so it doesn't hit my microphone. And 1 more. Whew. Great. All right, set that object down. And let's hang out to finish here in a low squat. You could hang out with your hips hovering off the floor, or you could seat your pelvis on a block or a chair. Hope you've enjoyed today's class. And this is one part of 3. This is a strength part. I also did a flexibility part and a role model, or excuse me, a therapy ball self-massage part as well. And they all relate to the same area. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and hope to see you again soon. Take care.